Hi, I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our
Today
channel.
we're watching the Apothecary Diaries Season 2, Episode 13. Last episode, Goshen gifted us a name. Zuigetsu, I believe?
Zuigetsu? Yeah. I feel like we're at a really powerful moment in history, you know, in the Apothecary Diaries. I feel like whatever is about to come, there's almost kind of this ominous energy here, like in the coming days, in the coming weeks, things might be ramping up, things might be a little riskier. We really need Mao Mao to know the truth. She's incredibly useful here.
Or it just ramped up to some of the best episodes of the series, and now it's going to cool down again after we get a name. I mean, it's such a massive gift, just like the gift Mao Mao got. I don't want to be spoiled and expect more.
If we think about how season 1 handled like the first half and the second half, I feel like there was a significant ramp up, at least for Mao Mao's character, in terms of what transpired in the second half of season 1, and really getting a look into Lock-On and her family, and I feel like just a much more intimate picture of who Mao Mao is. So I feel like that could be following the same kind of roadmap as season 1, as season 2 could be following the same thing, and we could be in for a lot here. I mean, Mao Mao spent the last episode, the very end of it, kind of giving us another picture into herself and how she interacts with other people. And Jinshi still hasn't gotten to say what he wants to say. And we've come closer than ever in the last couple episodes.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I have to remind myself to breathe. What a familiar face there.
The masks over everybody's faces almost reminded me of how Lacan saw everybody being faceless. Cool. Who is that with Lacan?
Come on. What are we doing?
No. Wow, 6 months. Good person to ask. She's proven herself.
Yeah. Is that really a place you'd want to send her to? Like a job fair.
The bads. Wow.
この建物にあるのは中級比以下の妃が入る小部屋の浴場と下女たちが使う大浴場だ。庶民は水で体を拭くくらいだ。下女が風呂を使えるのはそれだけでありがたいな。
Making a good impression, Shisui.
Oh, it's early, so it's like extra hot.
We should talk to Shisui about frogs. Share intel.
She's more of a bug person, so. God, I don't want her to leave, but I want her to have a good job.
She's like a dog.
Another one like a dog.
シャオランは農村育ちで暑い家に浸かる習慣がないから、
Must feel weird.
その方が気持ちいいんだろうな。それで止水捨てっていうのは、
あ、そうだった。こっちこっち。ダメだってば。こっちはキサキ専用だよ。大丈夫。入っていいし、捨てはこの先にあるんだから。
ははん、なるほどね。
あら、新入り？はい。よろしくお願いします。少し強めにお願い。わかりました。ほら、二人も。
We have so many secrets.
シャオラン、これ。
So basically, get in there and serve the mid-ranking concubines.
花町で姉ちゃんたちを見てきたから細かいことが気になるんだよな。戻りました。
Mao-Mao's
she
really
about to-
going all out.
Is she really gonna get the spa day of her life right now?
糸です。
何に使うの？
こうやって糸で毛を絡め取るんです。お試しになりますか？
とりあえず様子見ね。次はいつ入るの？
いつにしましょうか？
あさってあたりでしょうか。
なるほど。こうやって普段お近づきになれない妃たちと知り合う。これが止水の言ってたつてか。
Creative idea.
Right.
結構疲れるね。あの後列ができてたもんね。
Oh goodness, of course they
やっ
did.
てた女官が年季明けて辞めちゃったとこなんだ。
Ah.
へえ、止水よく知ってるね。
Mm-hmm.
その女官は中級妃の一人に気に入られて、そのつてで今は妃の実家で働いてるんだって。そういう
Oh.
こともあるんだ。こういう使わない櫛とか首飾りをくれることもあるよ。
その度に他の妃をマッサージするために長いるなんて本にゃん様になんて言われるか。
よーし、つてを探すぞー。まあ、
And she's personable, so it makes sense that Xiaolin could have use of that.
ダメですよね。はい、わかってます。
あら、いいじゃないの、本にゃん。ああいう場では気が緩んで思わぬ話が飛び出すものよ。
True.
宮中の噂話とか。マオマオ、
Our informant can go in there and get the stories.
だそうです。
さすが玉葉様。止水並みに抜け。
Having ears everywhere.
玉葉様ご解任の噂はとうに
Wow.
聞いている。
Harder to know how many people might know and what the rumors are if you're kind of locked away.
ちらほらとリファ様もという話が聞こえてくる。だけどそれ以上に気になるのはローラン妃も解任しているのではという噂だ。
Oh?
もしかしたらって思うのよね。いっつも奇抜な服を着てるじゃない。でも最近
So she could hide it well?
外出が減ってるし、
Mm.
たりした服を着ていることが多いらしいから。
Maybe because she's doing so much hard work elsewhere.
そうなると上級妃4人のうち3人がご解任か。めでたいというか物騒というか。
Yeah.
あなた、次はいつ来るの？はい、あさってです。
She's taking this so seriously.
She's proud.
もう一つ、ここの噂話でよく聞くのが。
Does it have to do with like Jinshi maybe?
あそこにいるかな？一人かっこいいカンカンが入ったんだって。
A
Oh?
new
見
one.
てみたい
どっかで聞いたような話。
な。噂で聞いたんだよね。
30 new
新しい
eunuchs.
カンカンが30人も増えたんだって。
Oh my god, is that what we saw at the beginning?
もう宦官になる手術はやってないんじゃないかな。
Again?
元奴隷だよ。奴隷？もうこの国にはいないんじゃないの？他国の人間を虚勢して奴隷にするところもあるんだって。そこから逃げ出したか、助け出されたか。
止水って虫にしか興味なさそうに見える。結構賢いんだな。
Look at her expression.
Yeah.
いいの？カンカンだよ。でもかっこいいんでしょ？まあ、ジンシ様ほどじゃないと思うけどね。どうしたの、マオマオ？
別に。
そういえば、マオマオってジンシ様とよく一緒に。
That fucking frog.
マオマオ。
考えるな。あれはカエル。カエル。ん？
We were hearing about all the other top concubines.
なんか睨まれている気がする。休憩
'Cause
中
they
です
are.
し、お召し上がりになられては。
Jesus.
あなたどういう経緯で翡翠宮に仕えているの？
どうと言われても。
なぜ疑り深い玉葉があなたを信頼しているかということ。
Oof.
姉様。
つい呼び捨てにするほど仲が良かったのか。 だった
They're
ら
the same age.
そばにいる怪しい女官が気になるのも当然だ。そういう役割のものと割り切っていただければよろしいかと。
聞いてはいたけど本当にさっくりした性格ね。慣れない高級で先輩の女官がよそにばかり行っていたら寂しくなるじゃない。特にうちの末っ子の石油とあなたは同い年なんだから。
確かに。最近はシスイやシャオランとつるんでばかりだ。毒味役がフラフラしてたら不審に思われるよな。でしたら今日湯殿に一緒に
Is she the sister that's in the OP with Shisui and Xiaolin?
Maybe.
いいかもね。
Look at them!
たまには私たち以外の子と付き合った方が。
They're so happy for her.
仕事と思って行ってらっしゃい。
Oh, this is an exciting development.
So
This
this is
awesome.
a friend of Mao Mao's. Oh gosh.
串とかもらってるの見て興味持ったみたい。
これまでやってた女官はうまく隠してたってことか。
Oh, so no one else would take their territory.
Yeah.
着替えないのですか？
着替えるわよ。
We're creating so many jobs. We're creating an ecosystem. People can read. People are getting massages.
恥ずかしがることないよ。おお、十分立派じゃない。立派って何よ。つつましやかな方がいいじゃない。
これは敵に回したぞ。
そんなに恥ずかしがってこれまでどうしてたの？
姉様たちはこの大風呂を使っているけど、私は玉葉様にお願いして。
Oh, wow. And she said yes to that?
That's crazy.
砂漠地帯であまり
Are we gonna see the eunuch, Anna?
脱毛終わりました。こういうお願いします。石油様。
石油様、こちらも。
塗りたくることくらいできますよね。
塗りたくるの？
はい、鶏肉のように塗りたくってください。気が緩んで口が軽くなりますから。
わかった。
I'm so proud of her.
Get that information.
じゃあ揉みますね。
God, this is such a good development. I love this.
あれ
I almost forgot about all the new eunuchs.
リーシュ様。この前も見かけたけど。
And she's looking very
こっち
tentative.
の湯殿にわざわざ来たら周りが萎縮するんじゃ。
大丈夫ですか？
ああああ。もっと使える侍女はいないのかと思ったけど、あれなら萎縮されないか。リーシュ妃は弱い15で、上級妃といっても帝はネアに通っていない。まだまだ気弱なお姫様というわけだ。どうぞ。
ありがとうござ。
人を化け物を見るような目で、少しは慣れてほしいんだけど、新しい脱毛法試してみませんか？
Yes.
リーシュ妃、どうして上級妃がこんなとこ？
Right? Like, we went from mid-ranking now. This is awesome.
優しくしますか。
Jesus Christ.
お疲れ様。
ありがとうございます。
Interesting seeing Shisui there, you know?
Mhm.
リーシュ様はあまりこういうのに慣れていないのでしょうか。
ええ、そうですね。
Why do we come
この
here?
家ではみんなあんまり細かいことは気にしませんし、その前は出家されていましたから。
リーシュ妃は幼い頃、政治の道具として選定に嫁がされ、後宮に入った。選定がなくなって出家した後に、また妃にされて後宮に戻ってきた。元は毒味役の彼女が次女頭になってよかったのかもしれない。
I like
せっ
it.
かくなので、ついでにどうです？
よかったらお礼に冷たいジュースで
This is an exciting first day.
She's gonna have so much to share with her sisters when
Right?
she gets back.
ところでリエシュ様はどうして大浴場にいらしたんですか？金剛宮にも湯殿があるはずでは。
それは
It's haunted.
テルの
No, no.
No fucking shot.
I thought it was gonna be like the girls playing a prank on her or something.
We're getting ghosts again?
Yes.
How the fuck did you know?
幽霊。
This is so exciting. What a great development.
Ah.
I appreciate that all of the outros for the show always have kind of the same vibe and
Yeah.
feeling. Almost like they're all a connected story, if you will. They don't really miss a beat together.
Really honing in on the friends, huh?
So interesting to see such a heavy emphasis
Yeah,
on
I
them,
know.
actually.
And how little Jinchi is around.
Maybe we're focusing much more on kind of what Mao Mao was thinking about herself at the end of last episode.
Ooh.
Her ability to connect with other people.
Okay, that was the Apothecary Diaries Season 2, Episode 13. Pretty cool. Got new opening. Got new ending. Ghosts are back. That's sick. Sekiyu is within what is now a quad stack instead of just a trio. But that was Suri, right? At the start of the episode?
100%.
It has to have been.
I feel like it was her. I mean, how could it not be? The kind of way that the bangs are in the OP, we kind of get the outfit, the hair, and kind of peeling back the mask, and the eyes look, they're so her, you know? But
What's this? What's wrong with
the
your leg? You can see marks on the hand.
You see marks on the hand?
Yeah, look.
Can you go back to that?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right here.
I wonder if there's any fallout. One, okay, there's a couple ways to go with this.
Any fallout from the fake death attempt?
Yeah, from what you had to take within your body. Mine is more the fallout physically from another person for possible failures.
Oh, that's a good one. Or this is all character work.
Or it's all because they're supposed to be slaves or former
Yep.
slaves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure that she would have the ability to fabricate, and or she could be like Mao Mao and just cause weird burns or like kind of rashes on her body that would seem like she had been treated horribly.
Does this so assuming that it is Suri, because it's, which is its own conversation, the fucking gall, the balls to be able to come back in a different disguise is fucking absurd. But what does this mean that the thing that we get next is Lao Lin being whispered to? Does that like guarantee a connection between the two of them? Because if we're reading that Suri right then was just said next to and then taken in as one of the slaves as a new eunuch, this could be Lao Lin learning that it was a success, you know?
I feel like just based on editing, you would have to begin to possibly theorize that there's a connection between Lao Lin and Sure. I feel like you would have to start going there just based on the editing, but also like cuts and editing and storyboarding all is on purpose to either lead you or mislead you. Exactly. So we're already just supposed to be on the fence about how much Lao Lin is involved with her own father Shisho's kind of schemes here. What exactly are the schemes? When we get the envoys initially within the first half of this season, we get what looks to be Shisho possibly meeting with them. And so the idea that he could have a bunch of, almost like if you could think about it as like camps, like each concubine has their own camp, if you will. Mao Mao kind of is able to go between camps and have friendships between camps.
Yeah.
But everyone is a little bit divided, and we aren't really sure exactly how many people are maybe on the same page or working with Shisho. Just in like what happened in the last couple episodes, we don't even really know for sure that Shisho was involved at all in the incident of the attempted assassination.
So let's say it's Suri. Let's say Suri's back. Let's say Suri's successful. We can even shelf the connection potentially to Lao Lin right now, because that is up in the air. What's more grounded, I think, is it is who we think it is. What's to expect now that they're back? Another attempt at Jinchi's life?
I would have to assume, based on what Gaoshin puts forward at the end of last episode, that what is to come is either more attempts on Jinshi's life, but also what we get in this episode that I think is of equal importance in terms of the risks at play here are the possibility that 3 of the concubines are pregnant, but at least 2 are almost like the rumors feel very confirmed. And we know, as a viewer, getting to see basically that those are truths here and not just rumors, because we get an inside look into each of the pavilions. So yeah, there are multiple people that could be targets of assassinations and or miscarriage attempts here. I feel like bringing her in here as one of these 30 eunuchs, I feel like it's a risky move on her end to come into a place where she could be recognized by she might not view Mao Mao as her like ultimate opponent, but Mao Mao sure as hell views her as like a rival. And we're getting with this episode, Mao Mao is incredible. Not only the episode, but also a lot of the outro gives the idea that Mao Mao is going to be spending a lot of her time with this half of this season amongst the servants, amongst the eunuchs and the serving girls, and not really locked away at the pavilion as a taster for Gyokyu, but much more of able to hear the rumors, be an informant, but also be able to directly see and have interactions with Surei. I feel like bringing her in here, I'm like, how are we going to avoid Mao Mao when we're kind of getting a Mao Mao that might be a more in the same areas as us?
I don't have that much confidence that Mao Mao would be able to deduce a second costume to Surei. You know, like I if Lao Lin is actually Shisui, we have it on good authority that Surei has a massive leg up against us in terms of their identity and us being able to figure it out.
I mean, you do have a point that it's not like Mao Mao has an amazing track record of being able to tell when something's different about a person or slight disguises. It's almost
it's like this is the perfect disguise to feign off against somebody who's as perceptive as Mao Mao, right? If even one of the recruiter or whoever was talking to them, the first thing that you're pointing out is like, oh, what's wrong with your leg? Like you are putting on faulty like aspects of yourself. Mao Mao would just be like, oh, okay, I wonder if he was a slave. He probably was a slave. That's right. The eunuchs came from the slaves. I wonder what happened to him. Like, she would try to deduce whatever fake symptom that Surei would be putting on.
So you're saying that she'd be so much more focused on maybe just the more physical attributes that she's seeing that could be as if someone had been injured or sick in the past?
Yeah, which gives like an added layer of deception and like safety to Surei, which is very concerning.
I find it so hard to believe and or theorize that Mao Mao, if really face to face, wouldn't be able to figure it out, like locking eyes, because if anything, she'd be incredibly disappointed in herself. I think I can say with confidence, if she learned after the fact or later on that Surei was here and she didn't suss it out, she would be devastated. Yeah. She would be like, she was in my grasp. She was right there. I could have had contact with her. I could have asked her things. I could have defeated her plots. So I feel like, if anything, at the end of the day, she would be incredibly disappointed. But why I brought up the faces was more to call upon Lakan. Because I feel like we're getting somewhat of a family attribute in terms of kind of lacking the ability to, or at least perceiving that you lack the ability to connect to other people and read other people.
Yeah.
And Lakan, while he can read people as if they are chess pieces on a chessboard, he can't read them in a way that is more human and a way that could involve also connection. And we've had so many lines from Mao Mao in the past about her inability to connect and her own perception of why, and that is a fact to her.
Yeah. One thing that I caught on that was a line that Mao Mao had said in like trying to figure out what she could do for Xiaolin in terms of references, which she I love that Mao Mao decided not to go with her first instinct of where to send her. Mm-hmm. But upon thinking about Jinshi, she was like, yeah, I don't want her to get involved in whatever trouble that he's in. And I thought that that was interesting wordage, because we talked about that Mao Mao could have a false idea of what that secret may be that Jinchi is hiding, and it be more of like a malicious thing in Mao Mao's eyes than what the actual truth is. And her phrasing it is like, whatever troubles he's in. I wonder if that furthers that interpretation.
If anything, what she believes is true. Like, Jinchi is hiding the fact that he is not actually a eunuch, but she's definitely stopping there. But it is still explosive. It's an explosive fact in itself. So that being what she's calling upon here in terms of like whatever trouble he's in, he could be in grave danger if people found out this and he wasn't actually who he is. You know, if he was just a random guy, you know, that wasn't connected to the emperor actually, and he was here and not actually a eunuch, you know, that would be explosive. Do
you think that like faking being a eunuch would get you closer to Jinchi because Jinchi is faking a eunuch, you know? Like, do you think that's the intention here?
To fake it gets you closer to him?
Yeah, like you might have more opportunities that would be less, I don't know, just different opportunities to interact with him, as opposed to if you were just like a lady in waiting.
Well, if you were trying to be secretive and hide certain aspects of your identity like that, you wouldn't be going to the public bath places during the popular hours. But then again, the eunuchs aren't going to be sharing public bathhouses with servant girls, but they're also probably not going to be sharing it. I don't know, Jinshi's supposed to be just a eunuch. Yeah, he's like the higher standing eunuch here, and he has a private bath at home. But what if he does, as Master Jinshi, attend the public bathhouse that the other eunuchs attend? And what if they're, like, I don't know, maybe I'm, like, reading into it too much, but because you put out the idea of, like, would they somehow connect because of similarities in terms of their disguises, that could be a line of thinking that attaches to this episode, is that they wouldn't want to be seen half naked by any of the other eunuchs.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten, like, threaded? What do they call it? Like instead of using a razor?
Microblading? Is that? No, micro.
I'm not sure.
I've
seen at the mall that they do that to people's eyebrows, and I've always wanted to try it.
I feel like I have heard that it takes longer for it to grow back, I do believe, and I'm sure it hurts less than nicking yourself with the razor.
Yeah, my sister used to like use like tweezers on my eyebrows all the time, and it was the worst thing ever. It felt like torture. So if anybody's ever had to deal with that, I apologize.
That's such a big sister thing to do.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so big sister thing to do. I cannot wait for them to hear about all of her journeys of today, Sekiyu's siblings. Okay, my last thing that I have, is it actually going to be a ghost? Is that what's going to be the big bad in this bathroom? Like, is it going to be something that can be deduced like in a medicinal way, or like there's an explanation for this, or what we got a few episodes ago is going to show its face a little bit?
I feel like I if you hadn't, I would have brought up a couple episodes ago when we got the ghost stories, and then what was probably inevitably the ghost at the end that had set this whole thing up to hopefully kill more young women, which was really messed up of that ghost to want to do. But before it was said that it was a haunting or a ghost, obviously my mind first went to haunting, but in terms of more grounded in reality, I have to just remember Li Shu's ladies in waiting are the type that could possibly pull pranks.
Fuck with her.
And I could see like the prank being, oh, well, let's make her have to go use the more public bathhouse where all the mid-ranking concubines are, as kind of like because I think one of Mao Mao's feelings of them was that they might dislike her because they see it as offensive that she was a concubine for the previous emperor and then is now a concubine for this emperor.
Yeah, we also got told that she was at the monastery for a little bit in between those, in that transition.
Right, we did get a little more of her like in between history, but because they kind of view her in that possible way where it's like, oh, that's gross of you, or that's offensive of you, how could you have been a concubine to him and now you're a concubine here, that maybe kind of putting her in a position that is beneath her actual status is something that they would want to do when they're bullying her.
Yeah.
So, like, that's my first read, is that they're concocting some sort of scary, haunted story. But also, I don't think they're smart enough to concoct some sort of haunted bathroom ghost story. If anything, they might be like, oh, you're scared of the bathroom? I'm going to fuel that fire. But I don't think I could see them, like, setting up all these, like,
what if they did?
Haunted house booby traps.
They did set up the haunted house booby traps, and while she's gone, they're all using her bath.
Oh, well, we do get the idea that Sekiu has been allowed by Gyokyu to use the bath in the pavilion, which just, that one statement in itself says a lot about Gyokyu. Obviously,
Gyokyu would let Mao Mao do anything that she wanted, just based off of her love for her. I love using, like, the idea or, like, cover of it being, like, ear to the ground, right? Mm-hmm. There are rumors going around. Who fucking loves that shit? Gyokyu.
Mm-hmm. I think something to go with that thought is to remind us that Mao Mao holds down the fort in terms of not telling the three sisters everything. She does not actually give the details of how she came to be one of the ladies in waiting or the taster for Gyokyu. And I do wonder the purpose there. She doesn't seem to, like, want to spread tons of information, but also why would she not want to enclose more of the actual details? Like, I feel like if I were her in her position, and maybe that's because I'm not reading into things too much and I'm not protecting myself, I would be like, oh, I deduced that her baby was getting sick, and she said ignorance is a sin, and then the three girls would have been like, we know Gyokyu from childhood, and she loves saying that saying, you know?
Yeah.
I would have been a little more forthcoming, but maybe that's just because I'm always more forthcoming, and I wouldn't have seen why the need to protect myself there, and I probably would have ended up.
On the other side of things, I wouldn't see the need to share that information. I would phrase
so
it exactly
Mao-Mao
what Mao Mao said wasn't untrue.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I'm, like, the type that, like, overshares.
Yeah.
But they were wanting more. They were like, wow,
like,
you're being...
If I'm in Mao Mao's position, I might, like, not... This is not how Mao Mao feels. I would be like, well, I'm not going to share that information because what if, like, I'm going to give that respect to Gyokyu. What if she doesn't want that information shared? It's her kid, you know?
Okay, and if these are childhood friends or girls that grew up with Gyokyu, and they haven't been told the actual story by her themselves.
If it's anybody's place to tell it, it's Gyokyu's.
That's so true. I didn't think about it from that perspective, that they know her, and so that's why they are suspicious that there's more to the story, because they know what it would take for her to trust someone to that degree, that Mao Mao is given almost like this free reign, this ability and not only the ability but the trust to leave here and go have friends and do things in other places and not have Gyokyu be suspicious that you're trying to, like, do anything awful.
Yeah.
It really brings up in some of, like, the past 5 episodes, our relationship with Hongyoung has gone through some interesting movements. We've almost gotten a little more, not suspicion on Hongyoung's place, but I think she's rightfully so kind of putting down her foot and kind of saying her opinions in place in terms of, like, you are serving Lady Gyokyu right now, and I know that you are being asked to do something by the Empress Dowager, and you do things for Jinchi, and you go here and you go do this. But at the end of the day, I am the head lady in waiting of Lady Gyokyu, and she is my priority. And so, like, I'm gonna have my eye on you.
Yeah. I wasn't sure that they were all from the same hometown as Gyokyu. I thought that it was just from the other staff, but I could be wrong. I just wanted to bring it up so that we're sure.
See, Island's the one that says long time no see.
Yeah.
I believe that Gyokyu gathered girls, all of them, from her hometown.
So do we know that Island is from Gyokyu's hometown?
We don't. I don't think we've been told in the past about how she picks the girls. But by the fact that all of them are kind of speaking, see, we get Island and Yinghua both kind of talking to the three sisters as if they have met before and they know them.
Yeah.
And then we get lines from the three sisters that give the energy like they know of Gyokyu.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I guess it's more on my end. I'm kind of connecting it as they're all from Gyokyu's hometown.
That's so fair. I think that probably before next episode, I might go back and click around in previous episodes because I think that you're right, but I'm unsure.
It would make a lot of sense, especially if you think about the idea of if you make a connection with a mid-ranking concubine here, then you could be sent and given a job with their family back in their hometown.
Yeah. All right, you good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.